Yeah.
Trying to figure it out. That looks good. That looks better. Are we there?
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Tell me you can hear us.
Are people in?
They will be in
I
a
was gonna
moment.
say, I can't see the number.
52.
Yay! So people are here.
We can hear you, says
Yay!
Silent Hill.
Hello, everyone.
Ironically. Hello, everyone. I also feel like I'm going to be sick today. Welcome to Olivier Nomination Day.
I feel like I should set it up here. So we'll do what we did last time, which was they can hear through the microphone.
I could hold up a...
I think it's better them hearing through here.
Sure.
And then also we can read it, because what I don't want is for us to accidentally react to something and it's because we've not read it and we can't scroll backwards.
Yeah.
It's in live.
Yeah.
I think.
I am sending vibes to Stereophonic. Representing. We're not in a park, and thank goodness, honestly. I know that was fun.
That was last year.
That was that Tonys?
That was the Tonys. That was the
Tonys.
Tonys because people made us think Elford got a nomination.
Yeah. Oh my god, hey Jacob Fowler.
Hello.
I'm so nervous. Oh, someone's seeing Kinky Boots this evening. Enjoy. We'll be seeing it later this year. The outfits aren't necessarily alliances because we realized we were like, what do we actually have?
There's a lot of shows that this kind of says shows more cute apparel, please.
The bears in the background include Hercules, Paddington himself, and the National Theatre, presumably going to be not somewhere.
We also didn't have Harold Fry merch because they had the merch booth closed when we were there last time.
We need to go back and see Harold Fry again. I still think when the weather's a bit better, it would be fun to walk there. Which is not close.
Do I look amused? I love walking, but I currently have ridiculously large blisters on my feet because of filming a challenge.
You look very cute. How's everyone doing? We have 137 friends.
Hello, everyone.
The Olivier nominations are getting announced in about 13 minutes.
13 minutes. It's already prepped ready. They've got it all ready in it.
We're going to do our best to show you, relay the news at the same time so that you are fully abreast of the nominations as we are. Maybe some of you are also watching on 2 devices. Maybe you're living in the future. And we're going to be sharing our candid reactions. There are going to be shocks regardless. Yeah. There are not enough nominations for...
Especially the performers. Performers, it's going to be really hard.
Choreographer is going to be a bloodbath. It was just occurring to me, like, there's no good way to include everything that ought to be included. So, yeah. But yes, Stereophonic t-shirt. This is from Much Ado About Nothing baseball cap. Aaron's wearing Shucked and Paddington.
And Paddington.
I do think Paddington could beat Fiddler's record. It's the Fiddler and Hamilton record, right? For most nominations.
They're the most, but...
Fiddler, I think, became the most nominated musical revival, but I think it matched Hamilton for total nominations. If anyone's going to do it today, it'll be Paddington.
Yes, by far.
I don't think anything else is really predisposed to pick up as many.
I've just had anxiety for like the past half hour because it's just this weird...
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Let us know as we go through, by the way, if there's ever any sound or audio issues, especially when the nominations themselves start. If you need something to be louder, if you need us to be louder, I can shuffle things around.
10 minutes.
But yeah, I don't believe Friends the Musical Parody is eligible.
No, because
for anything anywhere.
So
other than Fondness.
Yeah, the New Wimbledon Theatre is an affiliate. But I think that would only be if it was like a long run that did enough. Like they have to do about a month.
Yeah.
Runs, really.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead with 10 minutes to go. I'm gonna manually insert an ad because the live is telling me to, because I turned off the automatic ones. I don't know what that's done. Maybe that's done something. Hopefully it means that there won't be any ads once the nominations themselves begin.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyone we're rooting for,
I've kind of reached a point where I'm just like, everybody's deserving.
Yeah.
Kenrex
is a great one, actually.
That's where my little heart is with. So, like, full transparency, I was part of the social media team for Kenrex, so I have a little bit of a
but we loved it prior to then.
Oh, we loved it prior to it, but it means I have a little proper, like, if they get anything, you will hear my reaction.
Yeah. Yeah, David, we'll stick around here. We'll stick around here for a bit, and chat all things Olivier's. There will be much to discuss in the immediate aftermath of the nominations. There will be some shock exclusions. There will be some surprises. There will be a decent amount of like, wow, this thing went into this category.
Yeah. Or this person was classed as leading, and you would have thought they would have been supporting the other way around.
Yeah. There's a couple of conversations going on here about Evita sweeping. Evita doesn't really have enough eligibility to sweep. When Fiddler managed to as a revival, it was quite extraordinary. But Evita, it's sort of so scarcely eligible in a bunch of performance categories.
Because the reason that Fiddler did so well was because they had like multiple supporting actress nominations.
Yeah.
Like, they really doubled up in categories.
Yeah. Any chance Shocked could go the Titanic route and go for best comedy or entertainment? Anything is possible.
Anything's possible.
There will be surprises today. Yeah. There's some things that we've tried to predict. Something we kind of stuck our neck out with some of our
Mischief could get 2 show-noms today.
Mischief could get 2 show-noms. That's the other one I've hidden over there. That is a Christmas Carol Goes Wrong scarf that I have included in frame because it is technically eligible.
It is in Best Family
this afternoon. Next to Normal, not happening in Birmingham, sadly, has nothing to do with the Broadway rumors. That is,
it's just separate, I believe.
Separate challenges being faced there, unfortunately, which is a shame because I was really looking forward to seeing that in intimate space. And so hopefully we get an off West End or regional Next to Normal somewhere. Because we waited so long, I think now we just need a bunch of them.
There's so many performers that would be great to see, especially as Diana.
Oh, will they let the Oliviers? Will they let the Oliviers perform at Stereophonic? Will they let Stereophonic perform at the Oliviers?
It would have to get enough nominations.
There's form, but then I would like Kenrex too as well. This is the thing: Stereophonic and Kenrex could both pop up in like musical contribution, sound design, because the Oliviers, they love a play.
Yeah,
they love a play. We see often sort of a heavier play weighting.
I mean, they do love to do a little way of showing plays on stage.
Yeah. Hercules is included this year. Harold Fry is eligible, yes. Cynthia Erivo and Dracula was kind of the last opening.
That and Deep Azure. They were on the final day.
Deep Azure. So...
Can you stop reversing, please? Sorry, the beeping is going to be annoying.
Oh yeah, Kenrex won't be... They could... Are they specifically like that day? I wonder if Kenrex have cleared their off-Broadway schedule for the Oliviers, or if they're just not.
That's interesting. It's a Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'd need room either side really, because the whole team would come out.
Going to your first ever press event today. Oh my gosh. Prepare for anything, because like whatever is happening could change, and it often does.
Go with the flow.
Have like anticipate more, expect less is always my rule going into a press event.
Olivier's are on the 12th. Kenrex starts on the 14th.
That's challenging.
Yeah, that's very tight.
That's challenging. I don't know what I've done here. Hopefully,
it might not come for anybody that's currently watching.
I don't think everyone gets them necessarily.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just going to not click the add button again until after. I don't know how they work. How are we feeling, everybody? Stranger Things has already been and got. That was 2 Oliviers ago. Was that last year or the year before? Stranger Things, The First Shadow.
That was
year before.
Because last year was Broadway.
Yeah. Hopefully, as the nominations are getting announced, and it'll probably be all over and done in about less than 20 minutes usually.
Yeah, it's very quick. It's very reaction, and it's very like, did that just happen? I haven't got enough time to go back and check if that just happened.
Yeah, just gotta Move
what
on.
happened in that category.
Process after the fact.
What normally happens is we normally hear them, read them, and then suddenly go who was missing, suddenly realize, try and react, and we're on to the next one already.
On to the next one.
Yeah. Or we get so fussed about one and so shocked that the others come out and we're back on ourselves for ages.
Inter alia will definitely get some love. I think Sean Hayes will, at the very least, for that production as well.
I'd be surprised if not. When a Tony Award winner comes in, it's not a guarantee they're going to get one, but it's normally glaringly shocking if they don't.
I would say the 6 shows that you are most likely to hear talked about a lot in the next half hour are going to be Paddington, 1536, Punch, Inter alia. Am I missing a big play?
Which ones did you say?
1536, Inter alia, Punch. There's another one. All My Sons.
My Sons.
Evita, Into the Woods. But then it could also be producers.
I mean, Guess How Much I Love You is a question mark now.
Guess How Much I Love You, I think, gets
coming at the last minute.
Some big ones. I don't know that it
yeah,
sweeps all across. Thank you, everyone saying All My Sons. That's really who I'm rooting for. The thing is when they're so huge and I know they're going to do really well, I don't have to root for them. I'm nurturing the underdogs today, because Paddington is going to have a great morning. Arcadia could. Again, it's inherently harder for a revival because
there's less categories, so they can normally
fewer categories. But
it's harder. It's harder as well because people have a predisposed if they loved a previous production, it makes a new production have a harder chance to burst through.
I think there's every possibility that Arcadia gets a best revival of a play nomination, especially with the timing of it all. If I had to guess at this time, with Papa Estidu for All My Sons and Kate Fleetwood for Into the Woods, I think they both go featured.
Yep, I agree.
If I'm a producer on either of those shows, I am pushing hard for them to be in featured based on the year that we have. With musicals, I think, as we said in our video, it's easier to get nominated as a leading actress in a musical this year because there just aren't as many roles, but it's easier to win featured.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
It's just over 2 minutes because it's 57 currently. But there'll be a 1 minute countdown because it's a premiere.
Okay. Where is it? Where am I finding this?
Are we both playing it? I've already got it up.
You're playing it for us, and I'm going to try and bring it to the people. Where is it?
Official London Theatre.
Why is it hard to find? This should not be hard to find.
Type in 2026, it comes up straight away.
It's not hard to find. It's there.
So are you playing the sound?
No. You should play the sound.
Oh, and you're going to show it?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
I'm ready.
Okay, premieres in 60 seconds. People, it is very soon. Oh, let's... Oh, which means it will start on the o'clock. If they've got the countdown correct, that's why they're doing this.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes they forget about that bit.
Curious to see if American Psycho or Shucked will get any love at all. I'm hoping that Shucked does. American Psycho is another strange one because sometimes the sort of remount revivals do, like Groundhog Day did, Mary Poppins did, Hadestown did. Yeah, they were all very specific, different examples of things. Could honestly see 5 noms for new play or musical because of how busy the year has been. If I was a betting man, I'd say play gets 5 and musical gets 4. But we will see. Will Gatsby get best new musical? It could get that last slot. There's some tough competition. This screen is mirrored, so I'm trying to work out. How can I bring you into focus? There we go. Okay, well.
I mean, I'm just waiting for the countdown. It will begin shortly.
Hello, Marcus. We love you too.
Hi.
Star of Dracula.
Love you too.
Please let All My Sons win best revival, but nothing's winning anything today. Slow your horses.
There's nominations, unless they announce a special award at the end.
Calm it right down.
But they won't announce that today.
American Psycho could get in for a best revival nomination. It is possible. It is eligible. But there is also Evita and Into the Woods and the producers. I think those take the first 3 The question is
Okay,
the fourth.
it is midday.
Oh my gosh, it's happening. Volume.
Mine's not doing anything.
Mine's also not doing anything. No, that was just my phone. I thought we were fading. I thought we were cross fading.
Oh, don't do that to me, Michael.
It's just my phone. I'm anticipating the Gatsby love here being kind of reflective of the Broadway Gatsby love.
Oh, I thought they were going to be prepped on time, and they're not.
He did just call me Michael. It happens. It happens. Someone's countdown has started. Oh.
Dear Mom.
Oh my gosh, I got hit by an ad.
You always make your
We all have. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
This little clover is my way of saying I see that now.
Everybody's like, why hit us all with ads? Because we'll be different lengths. So I always get 2. You can skip.
No, I can't because my phone's crashing. There we go. 16 seconds. Mine is faster.
Mine's 57. Oh my gosh. Ugh. 12, 9. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
7,
It's
6.
happening, everybody. It's happening. What is this? Why do I have an ad for the bride?
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm terrified.
Okay, I think I'm up to date.
Do your manifestation now.
Gave me a chance when I was an 11-year-old.
The 2026 Olivier Awards are about to be determined. That might be a bit too loud.
I'm trying to get up to date.
It was the thing that got my passion for theatre really fueled.
Possible. It might take the stars to align, but it is possible.
That's close. That'll do.
Yeah.
Here's to us
Okay.
continuing to give the world
Everyone breathe deeply.
Thank you.
I don't know, why have I got closed captions? Here we go.
Hi, I'm Nick Mohammed, your host
Nick Mohammed.
of the Olivier Awards 2026
With Cunard.
with Cunard. Now, we've had another year
New sponsor this
of
year.
incredible theatre
And
here
new host.
in London, and we'd like to take a moment to thank everyone who helps bring each production to life.
How are our
Creating that
comparative
shared
volume
magic
levels, everybody?
audiences enjoy and connect with. I can't wait to celebrate with you all on Sunday, the 12th of April at the iconic
Everyone
Royal
stop
Albert
breathing.
Hall. But first,
Yeah,
I'm
everyone
thrilled
let's
to
just-
introduce this year's nominees, presented by a few familiar
Good volume.
Olivier
Thank you.
Award-winning productions. Best
Sound
design.
design. We're starting with sound design.
Okay.
Adam Fisher.
Into
for
the Woods.
at
Into the
Bridge
Woods.
Theatre.
Wow.
Gareth Owen,
for
Paddington.
That's the
musical
first for
at
Paddington.
the Savoy Theatre.
Stereophonic.
Stereophonic gets sound design.
At the Duke of York's
The
Theatre.
t-shirt worked, everyone. The
Ken
t-shirt
Rex.
worked.
Thomas for Kenrick.
Kenrick's already has a nomination. Wow.
Hello.
Not a
My
Vita.
name is Daniel
Not a
Boyce,
Vita on
and
sound
I
design.
play King George III in Hamilton.
All the shows are
Here are the
announced in
nominees
these.
for outstanding musical.
Hello, Daniel Boyce.
contribution.
Musical contribution.
Musical
Outstanding
contribution.
Musical contribution.
Okay.
Matt Brind
Paddington.
for Paddington the Musical.
Second for
at the
Paddington.
Savoy Theatre.
Come on, Stereophonic. Come on, Kenrick's.
Will Butler
Stereophonic.
and Justin Craig.
2 for Stereophonic.
At the Duke of York's Theatre.
Oh my
John
god.
Kenrex.
Patrick Elliott for Kenrex at the Other Palace.
This has started
Chris
so
Fair
well.
Good night,
for
Oscar.
Sean Hayes
3
for Good Night,
plays.
Oscar at the Barbican Theatre.
Okay,
3
I was rooting
plays.
for 2 of those plays, but 3 plays in musical contribution.
But Sean Hayes has already got a nomination for playing.
Yeah.
The Olivier Award for outstanding contribution to opera.
Remember her from Aspects of Love?
She's just been announced to get an Olivier anyhow.
Smash is here.
Yeah.
This is the opera
Best
productions, everyone.
New
We can
Opera
take a breath.
Production. Dead Man Walking at the London Coliseum.
1 for Ian,
The Macropolis Case
1
at
for
the Royal
Royal
Opera
Opera
House.
House.
Tosca at the
2nd
Royal
for Royal
Opera
Opera
House.
House.
Die Valkyrie
3rd for Royal
at
Opera
the Royal
House.
Opera House.
I think these were these not already announced?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Best
this is
New Dance Production.
Dance.
No sound for
Into
Evita
the
is
Hairy at
crazy.
Sadler's Wells.
No musical contribution for
Amy
Evita is
At Sadler's
crazy.
Wells East. Random Toronto at the Pit at the
Yeah,
Barbican.
Paddington's doing well.
Paddington's
Into the Woods is
Stereophonic
doing well.
Kenrick's
Sadler's Wells
tying
East.
currently.
Yeah, and Into the Woods has been doing well as well. Good night,
Best
Oscar.
new
Sean
production
Hayes is
in
playing
affiliate.
a separate affiliate.
Ben and Imo at the Orange Tree Theatre.
Ben and Imo, Orange Tree.
The Glass Menagerie at the
Oop.
Yard Theatre. The Ministry of
Ministry of
Lesbian
Lesbian Affairs.
at the
Oh.
Kiln Theatre. Miss Myrtle's Garden
Bush
at
Theatre.
the
Uh-huh.
Bush Theatre.
5.
The Shitheads
Oh.
at Sherwood Theatre upstairs at the Royal Court Theatre.
Already a
Court.
Royal Court nomination.
Some of our friends are going to have opinions about that one.
We're the cast of Brainiac
This is a cute way of doing this,
Live.
actually.
I like
Here are the
this.
nominees for best family show.
This is all
Evita will get
different winners.
Evita will get choreo.
Yeah.
Evita will get choreo. Don't panic. Do not panic, everyone.
This
Hold-
is cute that it's all
hold your nerve.
past winners
Best
announcing
family
the
show.
noms. for
family
their
show.
category.
The Boy at the Back of the Class.
Boy at the back of the
At the Rose
class.
Theatre.
Rose Theatre.
The Boy with Wings.
Boy with Wings.
At the Polka
All the
Theatre.
boys.
The Firework Maker's Daughter.
Yeah, there's a daughter.
And the
Walker
girls.
Theatre. The Three Little
I
Pigs
saw
at the
that.
Unicorn Theatre.
Oh,
Oh, Christmas Carol Goes Wrong didn't get in.
Christmas Carol Goes Wrong did not get. Allegedly, Christmas Carol Goes Wrong was in Family.
No, it was. It was in the list.
Yeah.
Best Actress in a Supporting Role
Oh.
in a Musical.
Tracy Bennett.
Tracy
for
Bennett, we
Here
thought so.
at the National
Okay,
Theatre,
okay.
Littleton.
Amy Booth Steele.
For Paddington the Musical.
Amy
at
Booth
the
Steele
Savoy
gets in for
Theatre.
Paddington. There's going to be 5. There's
Yeah,
5.
Kate
Kate Fleetwood in
Fleetwood.
supporting.
Yeah.
At the Bridge
We
Theatre.
knew it.
Victoria
Victoria Hamilton Barrett
Barrett
for Paddington. We knew that
Yeah.
At
too.
the Savoy Theatre.
Who's last? Georgina and Nora.
For Shooked at Regent's Park Open Air
Should have
Theatre.
got in. No Bonnie.
No Bonnie.
But I'm so happy Georgina got in.
That's sort of what
Yeah.
we predicted.
That
That's
is
sort
sort
of
of
what
what
we
we
Actor in
predicted.
a Supporting Role.
Actor in a
Supporting-
supporting role
Come
in
on,
a
Tom
musical.
Eden.
Trevor
Trevor
Ashley.
Trevor
Ashley.
Ashley, come on, that
Yes.
too.
Garrick
That too.
Theatre.
Yes, deserved. Corbin Blue.
Corbin Blue.
Corbin Blue.
Great Gatsby, a new musical at the London
Wow.
Coliseum.
Good for Corbin Blue.
Tom Eden.
Tom Eden,
For
yes.
Paddington the Musical at the Savoy
This
Theatre.
is 5.
Joe
Joe
Foster.
Foster.
For Into
Joe
the Woods
Foster.
At the Bridge Theatre.
Wow.
Oliver
Oliver
Saville.
And Oliver
Saville.
Saville.
At the Bridge Theatre.
3 Into the Woods acting nominations.
Joe.
Noah
yes.
Vita
Best
so far.
Lighting Design.
Yay, Joe Foster.
Robbie Butler for
Punch. Okay, Punch.
Punch
is in.
Lighting.
Apollo Theatre. John
Evita.
Clark for
Avita has a nomination.
Lighting.
Avita has a lighting nomination, and that lighting was good.
Aideen
Into the
Malone
Woods.
and
Into the
Roland
Woods.
Horvath for
Paddington?
Into the Woods at the Bridge Theatre.
Ken
Joshua
Rex?
Farrow for Kenrex. at
No
the
Paddington
Palace.
in lighting. I mean,
Hi, we're the cast of My Neighbor Totoro.
Kenrex is doing
Here are the
well.
nominees
Kenrex
for
is
Best
doing
Set
well.
Design, an
Wait,
award our
Gatsby's
show
in
won
supporting. Is
2023.
Gatsby in leading? Also, this is the
Best
first
set
time we've ever
design.
had
Set design.
5 in supporting.
set design.
Paul Taterpoo III.
Great Gatsby.
Gatsby has set design.
That makes sense.
At the London
Gatsby's
Coliseum.
showing up.
Tom
Paddington.
Pye and
Paddington.
Ashley Woodward for Paddington the Musical.
4 here, I think.
At the Savoy Theatre.
Yeah, 4.
Tom Scott.
Into the
Woods,
Woods,
Tom
as
Scott,
expected.
At the
Yeah.
Bridge Theatre.
What else do we have
David
here?
Thin for Stereophonics.
Stereophonic.
Stereophonic.
Yorks Theatre.
We
Good.
mentioned Stereophonic.
Good. I like these nominations
Hello,
today.
chickens.
This is good.
We are the dazzlingly well-dressed cast of Moulin Rouge, the musical, and it is our
already
exquisite
very
honor
surprised.
to present
Nora,
the
I'm so
nominees
happy.
for Best Costume Design, an award our spectacular bohemian little tale of truth, beauty, freedom, and love swept away in 2022. Prepare
Swept away,
yourselves
wow.
for glamour, grandeur, and
Haven't heard
gowns
that
that
name
will
in a
make
while.
you the Duke gasp.
Best
Costume.
Costume Design.
Costume.
Gatsby, I think, will get in here as well.
Yes.
If it got set.
Enver Chakartash for
Stereophonic.
Stereophonic.
Yorks Theatre. Linda Cho.
Yeah, Great
for
Gatsby.
Great Gatsby.
and
Tony
New
Award
Musical
winning
at the
costumes.
London
That's not a
Coliseum.
surprise.
No.
Tom
Into the
Scott
Woods.
for Into the Woods.
Into
That's
the
not a
Woods
surprise
at the
either.
Bridge Theatre.
Paddington.
And
Gabriella
Paddington.
Saville
Paddington,
and
design
Tara
and
Safar
costume
for
together.
Paddington the Musical
Yes.
at the Savoy Theatre.
Paddington's 2 designers jointly nominated.
Hi, we're the cast of Book of Mormon.
Here are the nominees for
Is
Best
Into
Theatre
the Woods
Choreographer.
An
outscoring
award won by
Paddington at
Casey
the...
McClough for the show
No,
back in
equal?
2014.
They might be equal.
Gillian Lynn Award for
Choreographer.
Best Theatre
Choreography.
Choreographer.
Bloodbath.
Fabian Eloise.
Fabian
for
Eloise.
Visitor
Fabian
at the
Eloise.
London Palladium.
Correct.
Ellen Kane.
Ellen Kane.
Paddington.
For Paddington the
Paddington.
Musical at the Savoy Theatre.
Who else?
Drew
Drew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
So correct.
Yeah.
June at Regent's Park
It
Open Air
was
Theatre.
gorgeous.
Noblesque.
Lynn Page.
Lynn Page,
for
American
American Psycho.
Psycho.
It's good
It was
choreo.
very good choreo.
Hello,
Lots missing from choreo.
Oh, this is stressful.
No top hat for choreo.
No.
So I don't think it gets revival.
Best Actor in a Supporting Role. Hamed Alimashan
Yay!
for Dealer's Choice at the
Didn't
Donmar
see it,
Warehouse.
but he's amazing
Papa
talent.
Sayadu for
Yes.
All My Sons.
Papa
Yes.
Sayadu in
Yes.
supporting
Zachary Hart for The Seagull.
was
Seagull
great,
at the Barbican
Oh, he
Theatre.
was also
but
in
not with
Stereophonic.
Stereophonic.
4 Stereophonic. Double in same
Stereophonic.
category.
Zachary Hart getting both.
And Giles
Giles
Terrera.
Giles
Oh,
Terrera.
yes.
So
at the
true.
Trafalgar Theatre.
So
Yes.
true. That's a great category. Good for you,
I'm
Zachary
Nana
Hart.
Zachary Hart getting vote.
In
Zachary
in.
Hart getting 2.
Here are the nominees for Best Actress in
Wow.
a Supporting Role.
Best
here we go.
Actress in a
Actress in a
Supporting
supporting role. 1536.
Isis Hainsworth for
Arcadia.
Isis for Arcadia.
Julie
Julie
Hesmondhalgh
Hesmondhalgh.
for Punch.
Yeah.
As
at the
expected.
Pacific
As
and Apollo
expected.
Theatre.
Naturally, this is 5.
Lucy
Lucy
Carchesky.
Lucy
Stereophonic. I was
Karczewski.
right.
Yes, you were.
Supporting.
Theatre.
Yes, you were. Good for you,
Hayley
Lucy.
Squires for
Hayley Squires, All My
at the Winter
Sons.
Haley for All My Sons.
Sophie Thompson
Oh.
for When We Are
When We're
Married,
Married.
at the Donmar Warehouse.
Proud of you, Lucy. Good job.
Who's missing?
Here are the nominees for Best Director,
Um,
an award our show won
many.
in 2023.
Many.
Sir Peter Hall Award.
Oh,
for Best
director.
Director. This is going to be crazy.
Oh.
Luke Shepard.
Jordan Fine.
Jordan
for
Fine,
Into the
Into the
Woods at
Woods.
the Bridge
Jordan Fine
Theatre.
immediately. Wow.
Luke Shepard.
For Paddington
There's
the
5.
Musical at the Savoy Theatre.
We've got 2 musicals.
Ed Stambalouian.
Wait, there's no
for
Jamie Lloyd.
Kenrex at the
No
Other
Jamie
Palace.
Lloyd.
This is in alphabetical order.
Lindsay Turner.
And then
for
Evo.
1536
Evo's the last one.
And
at the Almeida
1536 got
Theatre.
in. Yes, Ed.
Evo Van Hove for All
Yes,
My Sons
Ed.
at the
Great
Wyndham
day for
Theatre.
Kenrex. Great day for Kenrex.
Hey, girlfriends! We're
It's
the cast of
Titanic.
Olivier Award-winning Titanic.
Is
Oh,
everyone
this
still
entertainment
alive
or
here?
comedy? This
Best
is
new
entertainment or comedy.
You're all very quiet in the chat. Is everyone okay?
Wait, this is entertainment or comedy.
Or comedy play.
An award that the play that goes wrong, still running here at the Duchess Theatre, won over 10 years ago.
What's gone into this
Noel
category?
Coward Award for Best New Entertainment or Comedy
O'Mary.
Play. The
Comedy About
Comedy About
Spies.
Spies, as
at the Noel
expected.
Coward
Yeah.
Theatre. Every Brilliant
Every
Brilliant Thing.
Place.
You were right.
O'Mary.
Oh, Mary.
Trafalgar
Oh,
Theatre.
what a category.
And Paranormal
And Paranormal
Activity.
Activity.
At the Ambassadors Theatre.
You called this. You called all of this.
Oh, I felt quite proud. I was
That's
like,
a
these are
hard
the shows that are going to go
Actress
in.
in a musical.
Rachel will be last.
Katie Braben for
Katie
Into
Braben
Britain
gets
at the
in.
Bridge Theatre.
This is 5.
Danielle, Tanya, and Georgina.
Georgina got 2!
Brigadoon.
Danielle and
And
Georgina
Danielle and
got
Georgina.
nominated together.
Jane Krakowski.
Here we are at the National Theatre.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Jenna Russell.
Yes.
And then Rachel
Like
Zegler.
Rachel Zegler.
Harold Fry.
So the
at the
6th.
Theatre Royal Haymarket.
There's
Rachel
technically
Zegler
6.
For Evita. at the
Georgina
London
Honore
Palladium.
is a double
They
Olivier
nominated
nominee in
the
both
joint,
categories.
As is and Daniel Fiamania
Yeah.
will be a nominator.
Also, they are both phenomenal
Best
performers.
actor.
Wow.
musical.
Wow. Best actor.
Mark Antolin.
Mark
For the
Antolin.
producers.
I
at
think
the
they
Garrick
both get in.
Theatre.
James and
James
Artie
and
Shaw.
Artie
Yes.
in actor.
Musical
As we
at the
thought.
Savoy
As
Theatre.
we thought.
Andy Nyman.
for
Both the producers are in.
Garrick Theatre.
Jamie
Jamie
Parker.
Mark Addy.
For Into
Mark
the
Addy.
Woods at the Bridge Theatre.
No, Mark Addy.
Diego Andres Rodriguez for Evita. At
No
the
Mark
London
Addy.
Palladium.
Yeah, Jenna Russell. Got it.
Hello!
Whoa.
We're the cast of Cabaret at the Kit Kat.
I wonder if it was
Here are the
producers that
nominees for
knocked him
Best
out.
Musical Revival.
That's
An award
crazy.
we
That's
were lucky
shocking.
enough
Yay,
to win in
Diego.
Yes.
2022.
Best Musical,
Musical
Revival.
Revival. Evita, Into the Woods
American
producers.
Psycho.
American
At the
Psycho.
Almeida Theatre.
I
American
knew
Psycho.
I knew it.
Evita.
At the London Palladium.
Into the
Into
Woods, the producers.
Into
Yeah.
the Woods at the Bridge Theatre.
The producers.
No
Yeah.
Brigadoon,
Garrick Theatre.
no Top Hat.
Yeah. Which is interesting because Brigadoon got noms.
Yeah,
Best Revival.
but so did American
So did
Psycho.
American Psycho.
Play Revival. Arcadia.
All My
All My
Sons.
Sons.
All My
At the
Sons.
Wyndham's Theatre.
Then Arcadia.
Arcadia.
Arcadia at the Old Vic.
What else do we have?
Much Ado About
Much Ado
Nothing.
About
What to
Nothing.
do? There you
At the
go.
Theatre Royal Drury Lane.
There's its nom.
And The Seagull.
at the Barbican Theatre.
Great production. Wow.
Well,
I'm Dave.
I
These
feel
are all
like,
so hard.
I feel like
Harry
Kenrex
Potter,
is going to get
and
Best
here are
Play
the
nom.
nominees for
These
Best
are all
Actor.
so hard.
Best
Oh,
Actor.
Best Actor.
Come on.
In a play. Just where?
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston,
All My Sons
yeah.
at
As
the
expected.
Yeah,
Wyndham's
yeah,
Theatre.
yeah.
So deserved.
Sean Hayes.
Sean Hayes.
For Good
Tony
Night,
Award
Oscar
winner.
There's
at
5.
the Barbican Theatre.
Tom
Tom
Hiddleston.
Tom
Hiddleston.
Hiddleston
For
did
Much
make it
Ado
in
About
for Much
Nothing
Ado.
At the Theatre Royal Drury Lane.
No, Jonathan
Jack
Bailey.
Holden.
Jack Holden!
Kenrex at the Other
Jack
Palace.
Holden made it in.
And David Shields.
For Punch.
Yes,
at the
yes,
Olympic and
yes. Well
Apollo
done,
Theatre.
David. Oh my God.
Every
Great
performing
category.
category's
Great
had 5.
category.
Every performing category has had 5. That's the
Kate
first time
Thank
ever.
you, Olivier's.
Seagull
Kate Blanchett.
at the Barbican
Kate
Theatre.
Blanchett. Lesser known actress. Up and coming.
Marianne Jean-Baptiste.
As
For All My
expected.
Sons
No
at the
Haley
Wyndham's
Atwell.
Theatre.
No Haley Atwell.
Julie McDermott!
For Weather Girl at the Soho Theatre.
Forgot about that. Wow. Yes.
Rosie
No.
Soho Theatre getting in main
Alien.
category.
That's the first time we've heard
Rosamund
inter alia.
Pike. Rosie Sheehy.
Rosie
For Guess How
Sheehy.
Much I Love You. at
Oh, he
Sherwood
didn't
Theatre
get in.
downstairs at
Yeah,
the Royal
no.
Court Theatre.
Inter alia didn't get director.
Soho Theatre getting into main category performing noms, and this is their first year ever being a main category.
I'm seeing a little more of this play than I would like to.
Best New Play.
Best new play. 1536.
1536 at
Yep.
the Almeida Theatre.
Inter alia.
Alia.
At the National Theatre.
Punch.
Kenrex.
Kenrex.
At the Other Palace.
Oh my God.
Punch.
Punch.
At the Young
No
Vic and
stereophonic.
Apollo
Wow.
Theatre.
No
Is
fifth
Stereophonic?
step. No stereophonic. No stereophonic in best play after getting all those.
Yeah.
We're the cast of Operation
Wow.
Let's
Only 4
And here are the
plays.
nominees for Best
Wow.
New Musical.
An
Oh.
award that
Best new
our show
musical.
won
I'm
in
nervous now.
2020.
I don't know where this is going to go.
Cunard Best New Musical.
Paddington, Harold Fry.
I just.
Here
we
Here we
are.
are,
at the
as
National
expected.
Theatre, Littleton.
Paddington.
Paddington the
Paddington.
Musical at the Savoy Theatre.
Come on.
Shucked.
Shucked at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre.
Yes, shucked.
The Unlikely
The
Pilgrimage of Harold Fry. That's
at
before
the
we
Theatre
said.
Royal Haymarket.
So there we go. That was it. Those are all the nominees for the Olivier Awards 2026. with Cunard. Tune in to
Is everyone
BBC
okay?
on Sunday
No Guess
the
How Much I
12th
Love You in
April.
Play
Celebrate
either.
with us. In the meantime, you can book tickets to
No Guess How Much I
Olivier
Love You in Play.
Award-nominated and winning shows on
Oh.
Kenrix did so well.
Kenrex did really well. Stereophonic did like admirably well,
Yeah.
even if not getting director or
And
play.
we kind of thought that could happen because it just had a bit more
They
of a
got
muted
set, costume,
Yeah.
and sound,
And-
and musical,
and two performers.
2 performers. Good day for Kenrex. Does anyone have... No Mason. No
No
Mason.
Mason.
In featured or leading. Because Much Ado.
Yeah.
Wow. Paddington got, I think, as many as I expected it to, because it broke into... Do we have a tally on? Paddington got new musical, director, costume, musical contribution, choreography, set.
It didn't get a leading actress nom.
Did it get sound? Yeah, got sound.
Yeah, it didn't get one of the creatives.
Didn't get leading, but it got
It didn't get lighting.
It got actor. It got featured. 11 noms for Paddington. What was the fiddler number?
The highest noms were...
Paddington got 11. Tom Fletcher did get nominated as part of the Best New Musical
Yeah, that was his nomination.
nomination.
Most... No, not Oscars. I don't care about this right now.
I think Paddington was still the most nominated, but Into the Woods picked up a lot.
Most Olivier nominations were 13.
Did Fiddler and Hamilton got 13?
Got 13.
Wow. Oh, someone's just arrived with that information.
Oh,
Yeah.
I never knew that.
So Paddington didn't quite match that.
But Paulie Constable holds the record to most nominations with 17.
Good for Paulie Constable.
Wow.
The thing is, has anyone ever won leading and supporting in the same year? I don't imagine so. I don't believe so. It's a scarcity to even see that in the nominations. I was about to say what the thing was, and then I can't remember what the thing was.
What a day for Georgina Honora.
Great day for Georgina Honora. Oh, wow. Wow. Letting blood pressure slow down for a moment.
And Zachary Hart, like, it's a feat to be nominated once
Yeah.
in a year.
Yeah.
Or just at all, but to be twice on the same day.
Very pleased, actually, at the balance of everything. Very pleased to see. That's only the second time. No, that's only the fourth time in the last decade, I think, that we've actually had 2 musical directors of musicals, that is, nominated in Best Director. They're normally very play dominated, and they still were this year. It's still 60% directors of plays. But it's a rarity to see more than one.
I would say it's a good showing for Regent's Park.
It was a good showing for Regent's Park. Not a terrible day for the Royal Court either, and this is kind of just the start of their season, so more to come from them this year. National Theatre really only making it through with Here We Are, I guess, from what I'm remembering, thinking back on it. Various for not as much 1536 Love, actually.
No.
Or Inter Alia as anticipated. Inter Alia not getting director and 2 musicals getting director. That was a surprise.
That was a surprise.
That Best Entertainment or Comedy Play category.
I mean, how I thought it was going to go.
Is wild.
But obviously,
Activity.
they obviously learn it. How do you get the performers nominated for that show? You can't really.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
West End loves their plays, and the Olivier Awards love their plays. It is a thing. Does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns, candid reactions? There's so much to process.
They did also go against... So this is the first year that acting performances have been 5 people minimum, but 5 slots in all the categories. That's never happened. No, for Weir.
No, the Weir at all.
Shut out completely.
Wow. Gosh.
But yeah,
So there's no specific awards for score and music, but they are still nominated with Best New Musical. So Tom Fletcher, as the composer of Paddington, has just become an Olivier Award nominee with the nomination for that show.
With Best Play, the playwright gets the nomination, and now similarly, it wasn't officially always said like this, but the Oliviers made it quite clear like a year or so ago that the composer and the book writer and the lyricist will all get nominations as part of Best New Show. Somebody asked, can I ask why the joint acting nomination for Brigadoon? So they shared the role equally. Similar to kind of how you're looking at Paddington, and that's two performers sharing that role on stage.
Yeah.
With Brigadoon, Georgina and Danielle split it evenly.
Yeah.
So the award went for them both equally playing the same role.
The Olivier Awards are the British equivalent of the Tony Awards, celebrating the highest achievement in London theatre between February 2025 and February 2026. They've just been announced, the nominations for this year, and the awards themselves will be presented in a ceremony in April.
I'm so happy for Joe Foster.
Yeah.
I'd really like seeing it again recently. I was like, and seeing Why Am I So Single before and just being like, Joe is 100% a Olivier nominee.
Yeah.
Give them the Olivier nominee title now, please.
Yeah.
Because these categories make it very hard for...
Bella Brown is a brilliant rising star who is absolutely fantastic, and who I don't think had, certainly in Into the Woods, not enough material. When Kate Fleetwood was the supporting, this is the thing that happens, is Kate Fleetwood going into featured, then Katie Braben gets nominated in leading, Kate goes into featured. That makes it hard for Misa and Bella, because the witch is such a bigger role than Rapunzel. And likewise with the mistress in Evita,
she
it
only has
essentially
that
is a
one
song.
song,
Yeah, and she also was alternate, but that's not to what extent you kind of acknowledge that.
Yeah, it kind of depended on how much of the her being the alternate pulled into those roles.
It's interesting because I had been insisting. Yeah, Artie Shaw and James Hamid got a shared nom in Best Leading Actor in a musical.
Mark Addy not appearing was
Mark Addy not appearing, biggest shock to me.
Yeah.
No,
and Mason. Mason was my other big one that I thought performer would get in, and I wasn't even fully certain on the show, but then I was like, surely
Giles getting in and Mason not is wild.
Yeah.
Corbin and Jamie would have been in different categories. So Corbin Blue was in
Corbin was in featured. And we did say that featured actor in a musical was less heated this year.
Yeah. And Jamie Viscardi would have been in leading. Cynthia not getting anything. She had a decent hill to push that boulder up, I think. And it was divisive, and it was just too strong a year when you look at the rest of the nominations in that category. Someone asked about 5 nominations. In previous years, acting, as in a play, has had 5 nominations, and musical actors have only had 4 for no discernible
But then
reason.
last year, both leading in a musical got 5 and supporting got 4. So I'd been hoping this year maybe they'd seen sense and everything would go to 5, and it did. Yeah. I don't know if that's a permanent shift to 5 or if that's because some categories ended up being 6.
Yeah. I thought Comedy About Spies also deserved a nom for set design, but there were plenty that did. That's a tricky one that I think really struggles under the combination between play and musical. That one more so than a lot of the others.
No Noah either for...
No Noah for Harold Fry.
What's interesting is when you look at the best plays and what they could go to, you got like Kenricks, which got a lot of noms, but like 1536 still got director and play, and we always knew it was going to struggle with performers because they were another thing where it was like equally shared parts.
Kenricks did very well. I mean, Kenricks had a great day, but also did very well on having a lot of like creative eligibility in other areas.
Yes.
Like there are certain plays where it's just all about the playwriting, and then there are others where it's like there are design things and like striking lighting and the sound of it all and the music of it all. But I couldn't have dreamed it was going to get that many, or that Stereophonic was going to get that much creative recognition.
You're going to be like this, roll your eye. But this is a big moment for proving that like interesting theatre sizes can still break through. Because
Harold Fry didn't get nothing. Sorry, Harold Fry was nominated for Best Musical and Best Leading Actress in a Musical. And was that it? It didn't get choreo.
No,
but it was a hard year for choreo.
Yeah, it was a hard year for choreo.
It was a hard year. Burlesque was shut out completely. Great Gatsby.
Clueless was shut out completely.
3. Clueless shut out completely. Hercules shut out completely. So I think Great Gatsby would have been next in line to get a Best New Musical nomination, but didn't quite make it in. Sing Street got nothing. Dracula got nothing. Top Hat got nothing, but it was only sort of technically eligible.
But what I was saying about venues was we got a leading actress nomination for one of the shows at Soho Theatre.
Yeah.
And we got so many nominations for a show at the Palace. And it's kind of fascinating to see those venues come up in this mix.
That was a lot. That was more nominations than the other Palace has
ever had before.
I would actually love to look at the historic number of nominations the other Palace has had across every Olivier Awards ever and see if it just got like more than double today.
Yeah. I guess the year would have been when Amelie was in there. I don't know how many Amelie got.
But that was also a pandemic year. That was also, it was like a weirdly, I can't remember if the season actually got shortened though, or if it was anyway. No, it wouldn't have been because of where they fall. Wow, what a day! What a morning!
Oh, Dracula!
Yeah, I was saying
I hadn't even processed that until right now.
I was also sad not to see Stevie Webb.
Yeah,
but
and Keith Ramsey.
And Keith Ramsey. Yeah, don't assume that just because the poster's on the wall behind me that it's what I would say to that. Very happy for Punch. Is this the only year recently Jamie Lloyd got this few nominations?
Jamie Lloyd not getting a director nomination when eligible for 2 shows, and the 2 other musical directors getting it in.
People are saying that's because he kind of split his own vote. Nothing for Intimate Apparel. Wow. I mean, we didn't see it, but we heard.
No, but we heard so many
things.
big things.
My thinking with the Jamie Lloyd of it all is, I think it's quite clear that they preferred Into the Woods to Evita.
Yeah.
And it seems the nominators and the voters are different people, somewhat.
The nominations aren't just due to a panel.
Yeah.
The panel, there is a panel for every like category, like area. So there's a dance committee, there's a theatre committee, and there's a family committee and an opera committee. They come up with their nominations and recommendations, and then all the voters, and then all the voters then nominate for that. But it could be for people that aren't put forward by the panel. It doesn't have to be panel people.
So there's no guarantee just because something was more heavily nominated that it's going to. Into the Woods got more nominations than Evita. Doesn't mean it's necessarily guaranteed to win that category. Although it feels already like they have a little more momentum now.
Because that was kind of like with Fiddler. And Fiddler that year got so many nominations, but that didn't necessarily mean that
statistically, actors being nominated twice is not a huge disadvantage for them to win.
No, last
Ron
year
McGarry won last year, and I think last year it was really hard because there wasn't an obvious one between her 2 performances. I think for Zachary Hart, not only is his stereophonic performance more recent, it was just sort of a showier role of the 2, but he was great in both, and I'm very pleased for him today and for Lucy from Stereophonic. Thrilled for Jack Holden and all from Ken Rex. Thrilled for Shucked. Danielle and Georgina.
That also made me like. I had thought because they were sharing the role.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to bring them up, but then I was like, when you're sharing a role, it's hard. Because
that's a powerful industry salute right there.
Because they both, like, the 2 of them to do that full show in that summer with, like, Georgina learning the role very quickly.
There's a joint one in leading actress, and there's a joint one in leading actor. Yeah. Wow. It's not completely all male nominees, I believe, in Best Director.
No, Lindsay.
So, yeah. Someone was asking before about choreography. Paddington got nominated. Fabian got nominated for Evita. And what were the other 2 choreography nominations?
It was for
Brigadoon, Drew McConey, and We need a list.
Oh, American Psycho.
American Psycho. That was the surprise. Still no wigs, hair, and makeup. That is correct.
The American Psycho choreo was my favorite thing about that production.
It was. It was. And it was very different to the original production. I'm excited about Teeth and Smiles. It opens in a few weeks. Stay tuned for a review. But I'm looking forward to it. Paddington got 11. For the double nom and supporting actor, is that the norm instead of nominating the person once for 2 roles? Yeah. Yeah, you would get nominated for the individual role. Yeah, you would get them separately. Yeah.
Because it's not like part of the same, like if it was like in a rep, if it was something odd like that, maybe.
Yeah.
But
I don't think we will get a High School Musical 20-year anniversary thing because it's also an anniversary year for the Phantom of the Opera and Wicked in the West End.
And Matilda, but I think Phantom and Wicked are the moment.
Yeah.
And they did Les Mis last year, so it would feel a bit of a
I don't know that we were, for everyone talking about Evita, we weren't really anticipating, or I wasn't at least anticipating, an Evita sweep today. And worth remembering as well, this production or an earlier iteration of this production has already been eligible
and got nominations then
years ago.
And that's a trickier thing because I feel like some of them will be looking at it and being like this and then this evolution.
More Into the Woods love than I had predicted. Are they the only show to make it into every single musical acting category? Jamie Parker, Katie Braben, Ollie Joe, and Kate Fleetwood?
Yeah, maybe.
Paddington didn't get into leading actress, which would have been a bit of an uphill battle.
Do you know what? It's fascinating that The Wolf is like the most like reliable. That track is like one of the most reliable tracks to get a nomination at awards.
We were back at Into the Woods on Saturday, and I did think Ollie Savile's probably going to get
a very good part to get a nomination.
Yeah. Evita did get lighting. John Clark got a nomination for the lighting design for Evita. Yes.
Ooh.
I think we were just saying the nominators and the voters are different people. So Into the Woods getting a lot of nominations doesn't necessarily guarantee it the win, but the chances look good. The choices looked in, but everything you know there will happen when you return there. Yeah. Producers got 3 acting noms and Revival. Evita got Revival, lighting, Rachel, choreography,
Diego.
Who do you think will win Best Musical? Paddington.
Yeah, Paddington
is the answer.
Paddington.
Do you think Into the Woods will get an extension now? Uncertain what's happening with the bridge this summer because of the delay to
I think
Ivanov.
They can't extend the bridge because when they announced Ivanov was moving a year, they said that a different production by Simon Stone was taking that gap. So the summer's still not available.
Yeah. A role in a show and a track are basically the same thing, but a track may contain multiple roles. So, for example, a role that you play could be that you play Jean Valjean in Les Mis. You could play Eponine in Les Mis. Eponine is a role, but your track as an actor could be that you go on in Act 1 to play a lovely lady, and then you come back later after the time jump to be Eponine. So your track includes lovely lady, ensemble girl, flower picker maybe, and then Eponine. So your track is everything you do the entire night. It's kind of just a colloquial expression. And musicals tend generally to have more characters. So we tend to talk about tracks in musicals, but there are some like big plays.
And with nominations, if somebody's playing multiple roles in a season, they'll be nominated separately. But if they were nominated for playing different roles in the same show, they'd probably be nominated for all of those together as one nomination because it's just their track in that show.
Yeah. Benjamin Button, also a good example of that. Jamie Lloyd was he was neither the most expected director to get nominated for musicals or plays this year. So it is not the total shock. It's only because we talk about him so much and we talk relatively infrequently about other directors. It would have been a shock if Paddington was not nominated with Best Director. It was really what I think it came down to was, is Jamie going to get in for Evita or is Jordan Fine going to get into it for Into the Woods? Because Much Ado got a Revival nom, got a Tom Hiddleston nom, but I think it was just too far off and there have been too many great plays since. I don't even know if Jamie Lloyd was next in the queue to get one, or if, because like Inter Alia didn't get a direction nomination. Stereophonic, which got a lot of nominations elsewhere, including creative ones, did not get one. Everyone is overreacting to two things. So I want to circle back because someone said, is Into the Woods going to get an extension now? I think it's possible Into the Woods gets a further life, but it won't be based on this. I know we talk a lot about the impact of awards, and anyone who follows the Tony Awards every year will see the impact of those. The Tony Awards have a real tangible effect on the success of Broadway shows, which is why everything opens so close together. We don't do that here in the UK. The openings are spread out throughout the year.
Yeah.
The Olivier Awards don't make much of a difference.
If a show's selling well, it'll continue to sell well.
Your everyday theatre goer is not paying attention to the Olivier Awards, and the people who would pay attention to the Oliviers already booked their tickets for Into the Woods because it was Into the Woods.
Yeah.
And are the market for that show regardless, and we'll see it regardless. The people booking for the Hunger Games won't pay attention to the Olivier Awards. We weren't expecting Hunger Games. It would have maybe got one nomination if it was going to break into entertainment, comedy, misc, but it didn't because there was a lot of other shows that made the smart choice to go into that category.
It's very rare for nominations or awards with Oliviers to close something. It's just a case of it will get more people to a show if it gets them.
Yeah.
It's like a hype machine. It does well for things. It'll help performance creators, etc., be able to do new work, but it doesn't really hinder a show on staying open.
A performer would get one nomination for playing Hercules Mulligan and Madison. That would
be their track for that show.
Yeah.
You don't split up the characters somebody plays in it. It's just them.
Nothing for Blueberry's an affiliate.
Wow, yeah. Wow. That's a surprise.
Wow. But yeah, so no, I'm not anticipating any closing announcements based on these. Hello in China. Hello, Z. Hope you're having a lovely time. Shows that are struggling beforehand and kind of need that prestige factor, that's one thing. Affiliate theatre is theatres in London that have an affiliate membership to the Society of London Theatre who don't pay for full membership. So by and large, it's smaller, less centrally located theatres.
But to explain this further, those affiliate members can, if they want to, if they think their season is big enough that it will do well in the main category, they can pay a top-up to be eligible in the main category. So the Bridge, Young Vic, the Troubadour venues, Arts, Soho, all of these venues, they all pay a top-up to go into the main category for the season. But the next year they can be like, no thanks, and they can go back out. The Kiln Theatre, for example, for the past couple of years hasn't been in the main category. But if you look at nominations beforehand, they used to be seen quite a bit in the main category.
It's kind of like Off West End, but it's not really a solid enough explanation because we have theatres here that ought to be considered Off West End.
They're in the main category.
Like the Donmar Warehouse, like the Almeida, which Donmar by virtue of its size, Almeida by virtue of its size and distance, by a Broadway standard would be off Broadway.
And
easily,
that's why,
but they're not here.
Other Palace is another one of those. So this year, Other Palace and Soho are in the main category, but next year they could decide not to be.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that Soho's ever been in the
Andrew
main
Lloyd Webber
category.
doesn't own any small theatres. Those are all West End houses.
He used to own the Other Palace,
but
now he doesn't.
Nothing for the Muses and Hercules. The Oliviers have kind of, it seemed, since a few years ago, they don't want to do, they don't want to do joint nominations anymore. The Paddington one is a bit different because truly it is a composite performance where they are portraying the same character, which the Muses are not, which the Six Queens were not. And
I think with Daniel,
that's a job share.
Yeah,
so
they're a job share.
Completely different.
It's not 6 different characters. It's 2 people playing the same role. Half of the week is one person, half of the week is the other.
Richard II was eligible. Richard II was this year, along with Much Ado.
Yeah.
And Jonathan Bailey didn't quite make it in, and I think he would have been their only chance to make it in. But he'll be back on a London stage, and he will get nominated then, undoubtedly.
I think a big moment is just the Weather Girl nom.
But that I think was the play. Because Soho went main category this year. And I think it was so so Julia could get a leading actress nomination. If you could add one category, what would you add? we would do a lot with the categories. It's sort of not like one individual thing at the forefront of my mind. I think wigs, hair, and makeup is overdue. I would like for book and score to be separated out from best new musical, but at least now they get acknowledgement within that. At least they get an award. At least they get to be on the stage.
I would love casting to get their own nomination, because casting doesn't mean just your lead and supporting performers. It means how well a job did that casting designer pull the whole cast together, including ensemble. And I think sometimes, like, the only reason these performers are on the stage is because also the casting directors did a great job of forming this group of people.
Sure. And they do get nominated at things like the What's on Stage Awards, which are happening this Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
Everyone stay tuned for coverage. Separating plays and musicals would allow for more creative nominations in set, in costume, in sound, in lighting. The fact that we had 3 out of 4 in sound design were plays. No, musical contribution.
Yeah, musical contribution.
In best musical contribution. Wait a minute.
Yeah, musical contribution.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Wait, what's that?
When am I doing my winners video? Weeks away. Probably the week before the awards. We will both sit down and predict.
I just want to check one thing again, because I believe so. Yes. So Mr. Sean Hayes also got 2 Olivier nominations today.
Yeah.
Because in musical contribution, he got a nomination for his live piano performance separately from his acting performance.
The Oliviers get very excited whenever someone plays an instrument on stage, because Tim Minchin for his score for Groundhog Day was beaten in Best Musical Contribution by the kids from School of Rock for playing their instruments on stage, which was very impressive.
Yeah, free plays.
Best New Entertainment Comedy Play, that's a hard category to pick between. That's a tough one. A lot of these have just become very difficult categories to pick between. There's only a few that I would say are really foregone conclusions.
You're so happy for Amy Booth Steele.
I'm very happy for Amy Booth Steele. You walk out of that show, you talk about Amy Booth Steele and Tom Eden.
Yeah.
I'm very glad that happened. Any plans on returning to Paddington? I was already going to return to Paddington.
Always.
I'd love to return to Paddington. I would love for it to be possible to get tickets more than 6 months in advance, but it's not. And so we're letting everyone else go see Paddington, and then a little time down the line, we will gladly get back to Paddington.
My parents to see it. That's our plan currently.
Yeah, didn't need this to happen. Madeline, that's a very exciting big London trip you have planned. Dracula was eligible this year. Yeah, no nominations for Dracula. Couple for Arcadia. Donmar getting nominated, but not for the play anyone expected.
Yes, that was a surprise. Sophie Thompson getting for When We Are Married.
And was it Dealer's Choice? Was that also?
Yeah.
No nomination for Jess Foley in Burlesque. She is a rising star in the West End. She is. I don't know if that role, in terms of its acting, gave her enough material for that. It was a great performance showcase.
I mean, no leads in Great Gatsby either.
Yeah. Jamie Muscata and Francis didn't make it in for The Great Gatsby. I'm still so shook about Mark Addy. About Harold Fry.
Yeah.
Not getting... Harold Fry not getting leading actor or choreo or featured. Wow. I mean, everyone should go see Into the Woods anyway, because it's just, as a piece of writing, it's a musical masterpiece. It's my favorite musical of all time. That sound you're hearing is Our Washing Machine. Doing my first New York trip in 2 weeks for my honeymoon. Seeing
lovely.
6 shows and rewatching your vlogs for tips. I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope that we can be helpful.
I'm really happy that Mark Antolin got in.
Yes,
so I
me
really
too.
wanted him to, and I was just like, I just didn't know. I got nervous about the 4 and the 5 role because I just didn't know if we were still on 5 noms or if we were on 4 noms.
Yeah. Have I reconsidered my 3-star for Into the Woods since seeing it again? Not one little bit. And the big conversation through the Oliviers is going to be Into the Woods versus Evita. Into the Woods versus Evita. And I gave them both 3-star reviews.
Yeah.
So there you go. But I'm thrilled for the performers, particularly thrilled for Joe Foster and Kate Fleetwood. Someone asked about gendered acting categories with regards to Mason not getting in for a Mary. Do we think gendered categories had anything to do with the Mason snub? From what we know, we believe because They are still gendered acting categories, needlessly.
Mm-hmm.
We believe non-binary performers are asked which category they would like to be nominated in. That is what happens at the Tony Awards. That's what happened with Alex Newell and J. Harrison G. that year. It's what continues to happen.
And also, we don't need to talk enough to like want to like know what was Mason.
So it's entirely up to those performers.
Yeah.
And so I don't care to. I think it's as crass to speculate about like
why, like, were they in this and that's
Yeah.
why they didn't. If they did this, they would like. The nominations are coming out. That's
Actor
it.
in a play was a tougher category because, like, Robert Aramayo didn't make it into leading actor in a play, and he was wonderful.
Both were tight though, because Hayley Atwell didn't get into leading actress, nor did Cynthia Erivo. Like,
very true, very true.
They were tight.
Yeah.
This year was hard. Like the 1536 cast, from what we know, were really strong, but they were 3 equally tied roles, which is why I think when we were predicting, I didn't even mention 1536 in some ways, because I just thought they're going to be stuck because they're evenly split, and nobody had said like similar to when we saw the years, and it felt like, well, there's at least we knew Romola was like the most likely to get one because of that scene.
Check on set and lighting. There's a question about inconsistency with where video design went.
Yes, there was somebody else got in a different. So set design. So for Paddington, video design went in. Sorry, for Paddington, video design went in set,
and Great
as
Gatsby.
did Great Gatsby. However, video design for Into the Woods went into lighting, and that makes sense because the projection design in Into the Woods is not.
It's a feature of the lighting.
Yes, it's through the lighting design. I don't want to give away what happens, but that is lighting.
Into the Woods doesn't have video walls, and Paddington and Great Gatsby both have very well integrated, really well integrated video walls that are explicitly part of their set. So the video in both of those shows is set, and the video in Into the Woods is lighting. That's good catch on that inconsistency, but it does make sense.
That's kind of one of those that I think when you read it, you'd be like, why is this? But then when you see it, you go, that actually is the right way of doing it to be fair.
Yeah, it's a shame Tom Hiddleston getting in and Hayley Atwell not, because they are truly both comparably brilliant.
It's very cute that George Starsland and Finney Drew both just got another Ennio
for Three Little Pigs.
Yeah. They're named.
Yeah, I'm sad I didn't see that.
It was a very good family show.
What was
Me and
I
Sean
watching?
had a great time. I don't know because it was a matinee.
Oh, I do know. I was at a secret workshop that I can't tell you. I was about to say what it was.
No, it was so cute.
Yeah.
And to see how, like, I remember watching that and thinking, this is a really well constructed family show.
Yeah.
But to see Pinocchio
is it
and
going to
Christmas
Chichester
Carnival,
again?
Maybe it did last Christmas. I don't know if it's been announced this year. I don't think it is.
I would like to see the Three Little Pigs.
He might go back to the Unicorn if it's got a nomination.
I would like to see the Three Little Pigs.
It was very good.
I say this with, I can't reach all of them, but I can see at least 5 pigs on my desk right now.
It's interesting that like none of my shows I wanted to get into affiliate got a nomination. I'm like, oh, I can't predict.
The year we get one right in affiliate, we'll jump up and down.
Did not get it this time.
Never could we predict affiliate. Never, even once. Although I probably should have known that. Was it Glass Menagerie from The Yard?
Yeah.
I heard great things about that. I so nearly went and then I didn't.
Yeah, it was Ben and Emo at Orange Tree, Glass Menagerie at the Yard, Ministry of Lesbian Affairs at the Kiln, Miss Myrtle's Garden at the Bush.
We nearly saw Ministry of Lesbian Affairs, and then we didn't.
And then the heads at Royal Court that some of our friends struggled with.
Lee Smith 1655 asked, is there any way performers such as the one animating the dog in Harold Fry can get a nomination? And yes. Even if it's and I think as part of that track there is singing as well. There's definitely the same performer who animates the dog also appears as a soloist dancer at another point during the show. But even if you don't sing in a musical, you can still get nominated for featured actor in a musical. Would have been that nomination.
Yeah, anybody.
The Fiddler got nominated last year in Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, anybody in a show has the ability to be nominated. It's just often a case of what's being talked about. You can normally tell, like for example, Amy Booth Steele's track, when on paper and when it was originally started, felt like one of the smaller supporting parts in the musical. But from the get-go, from the first preview, everybody was talking about what she does in that show.
I'll have that scene, and I'll have that
Yeah,
scene.
she
and I'll
steals
have that scene.
She steals moments constantly, which then became the thing of she could get an Olivier nomination for this, which you might not have thought. Like, if you're going with the traditional, like how it works with like Victoria's part being much bigger as a supporting, could Amy get in? And she did.
Yeah. So videos that I'll be putting together over the next couple of weeks. We will be sitting down, as always, a little in advance of the ceremony to talk about who we think should win and who we think will win. I will also, within the next week or so, talk about some of the shocks and surprises from this morning, maybe some of the snubs, some of the individuals and shows that weren't nominated for the Olivier Awards today that we had anticipated. But I think it was I don't think it was a frustrating morning in the way I was worried it might be. I thought there were a lot of deserving shows like Shucked and Stereophonic and Kenrex, which obviously we loved an awful lot. But
Shucked was my concern because it was so early in the season.
And Regent's Park doesn't always make it in.
And it hadn't announced like a transfer or anything like that, so you just never know if that affects things.
Yeah. Well, we will be at both the Olivier Awards and the What's on Stage Awards. I won't be out front at the What's on Stage Awards, but we will be sat watching. We've booked our tickets to the Oliviers, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of figuring out what I'm going to wear.
Mm-hmm.
And how I'm going to do my hair, because I'm sort of hiding.
You're hiding your new haircut.
I'm hiding a pseudo mullet at the moment. You can't really tell, but like
a mini mullet.
Yeah. WW, flip it around. Mini mullet. Yeah, we'll do a video. Did I do a separate video last year on just who I wanted to win? Did I do that separately? I feel like I could have done. Because I think I decided want, should, and will are 3 different things. I don't know if I would have done though. I think we've kind of moved away from like want because
I think for the Tonys we said we weren't doing that. The last Tonys we definitely said we weren't doing
we like
want.
all of them.
Because and also it's so subjective. It's so subjective.
Yeah.
For different reasons, I want everybody to win.
Yeah. I'm just so happy. The nomination is already for so many of these performers, especially the early career performers.
The nomination, I think, is the bigger deal. I think an Olivier nomination and a Tony nomination.
Unless they win, then the win is a bigger deal.
Yeah, but I think in general,
it's a remarkable achievement, and it's going to do a lot for their careers.
Yeah, I think when somebody can put Olivier Award nominee or Tony Award nominee, it instantly changes, specifically for the performers, what they're then being seen for.
Yeah. For Lucy and Georgina and Danielle and Joe Foster and many of them already stage debut award winners.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really exciting. And Zachary Hart as well. I think Cate Blanchett was it was just a long time ago, so people had forgotten. And not enough people were talking about the Seagull. You were so
certain it wasn't going to appear.
I wasn't certain it wasn't going to appear, but my thing is that I made a video about it a year ago, and I was like, no one's watching this. No one's discussing this with me. I was so like pulled in 2 directions by that production because it was so interesting, and not a lot of people were popping up and talking to me about it. So there was no buzz for the Seagull. It sold out before it happened, and then people didn't talk about it.
I do feel like I am, what's the word?
Vindicated?
I'm vindicated about saying if you open right after the nominations have happened and this new season start, it does not count you out. Much Ado appeared, Weather Girl appeared, The Seagull appeared.
That's true.
Like, being on the start of the season doesn't hurt you, I think, as long as you make an impact.
Be interesting to kind of chart the spread of opening nights with regards to the nominations as they came through, because a lot of the last minute stuff, I guess one of the latest openings to get recognition was probably Harold Fry.
And in affiliate, the Royal Court Show. And Guess How Much I Love You.
And Guess How Much I Love You. Yeah. Thrilled for Georgina Honorer. Do you think there's any world in which she was expecting to wake up as a double nominee at the Olivier Awards? I think she probably was like cognizant of the fact, because she played a Tony winning role.
Like Lulu is that
It's got to occur to you that could happen. But to then,
But Georgina or Nora to
when
be
the
like,
second one comes around with her
Yeah.
and Danielle,
and also what that was mean for her
she's
and
already
Danielle.
pouring the champagne, and she looks back over and she's like, "Sorry, they just said my name again." That's wild.
Yeah.
Or to be Zachary Hart this morning and to see
Like both
you're just waiting. You're
performances
like
she
Zachary
did.
Hart's stereophonic, Zachary, and it comes up as the seagull, and you're like, "Oh!" And then the other one comes
Yeah.
up underneath. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, thrilled for Lucy. She was wonderful.
And the loveliest person. Every time
So
we
nice.
meet her, she's so lovely.
She's a gem. Yeah, Isaac, you've asked, are we going to revisit? Yeah. Shh. Doing some laundry, don't mind me. Are we going to revisit nominations before the awards of shows that are still open? Well, we just went back to Into the Woods. Paddington, I if it was so easy.
Yeah.
Harold Fry, we want to go back
Yeah.
to again anyway, because as a reminder, Harold Fry is a very, very limited run. Harold
Yeah.
Fry is not running as long as you would expect a
No.
musical of that caliber to run, and it's gorgeous.
I hope it tours.
Yeah, me too.
I think it would be a lovely tour.
Yeah. And this is Rachel Zegler's first major theatre award nomination. Wow. Someone said earlier, and I didn't get a chance to respond, is this is the lack of nomination for...
Well, no. She got a WAS nom. And
You're replying to something I haven't finished saying.
Oh, sorry.
Is the lack of nomination for Kip Williams and Jamie Lloyd a pushback against directors with a specific style replicating similar work? And I think in the wake of Dorian Gray and Sunset Boulevard, these were sort of, neither of these exceeded. Much Ado could have got Jamie a nom, I think, if it had been more recent. And if there hadn't been so much competition. There was just an awful lot of competition.
I agree on all the other performance about Shucked. I think
Keith Ramsey was another one I was rooting for, yeah.
I feel like if the show had come back or if it had run longer, there would have been more heat around like the different performers. Whereas I think that's like the show getting in and getting those noms is a big win for being so long ago.
Affiliate is very hard to call every single year.
Yeah,
and I
there's
would
just so many
argue
shows.
that it's one of the categories where we see the most snobbery against musical theatre.
Yeah.
Because there are great musicals every year at affiliate venues that are eligible, and
The Harder They Come.
you almost never see musicals nominated in affiliate. The Harder They Come, but also like Ride the Cyclone and Ballad Lines. And is Southern
No, I don't think Southwark is.
Just adding to the confusion. Yeah.
But like Coven was at Kiln.
Yeah.
There was like The Harder They Come was probably one of the best reviewed shows, and it's coming back, and that wasn't in there.
Yeah. The Tonys and the Oliviers seem to have very little effect on each other. They do a lot of things quite differently. And one never seems to be much of a precursor to the other beyond great work getting recognized in each instance. Yeah, Z, I was wrong. So they're not eligible. Georgina had fantastic reviews in Mean Girls. Who are we talking to? Oh, Mean Girls was not this year. Mean Girls was last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
We will go see Paranormal Activity. We'll probably see it when it comes back, I think.
Yeah.
Is likely what we'll end up doing.
Unless randomly a date works, we can go.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous.
Do you think adding
Scary.
an award for touring shows at the Oliviers could help improve the credibility of those shows and performers amongst the more casual theatre going? I don't think they need a credibility boost, because I think the whole appeal of touring shows is that they are big West End productions or like created to tour arriving to your local venue.
And places like Manchester and other ones, like they have awards systems themselves, but also the UK Theatre Awards exist for regional and theatres across the UK. So Kenrex won Best Show and Best Actor for its run in Sheffield at the UK Theatre Awards before the Soul Awards. So
there were a bunch of things I wanted to answer there. I think if there's anything keeping audiences away from touring productions, it's that there's now the touring market has become slightly more flooded, and the price point.
We're a tiny country.
We are a tiny country. Do you think? No, I've just done that one. Where am I going? Isaac, I've already answered your question. Yes. Should there be a separate award for video and lighting? The video that ended up with lighting in Into the Woods it's sort of more like gobos, and it's an extension of lighting. It's really not video in the sense of like Dracula or Sunset Boulevard. It's not that. There was other than Dracula, there was and the Maids.
Oh, the Maids didn't get even either. So Kit Williams was fully locked out.
Yeah. But the Maids was not reviewed that well. Everyone's suddenly been talking about the Maids.
Do you know what's interesting though? I thought it wasn't reviewed well.
Mm-hmm.
I re-looked at the reviews and it was 3s and 4s.
I feel like I remember.
I thought I did, but I can't find them.
Maids.
Yeah.
Maybe just the reviews I read were not well.
Paranormal Activity still got a main nom for the show. Isaac. I'm surprised it didn't get in the set area and stuff because of what people were saying, but I just think it was the musicals were just coming in strong.
Yeah. Yeah, the Maids is going to
Off-Broadway, St. Anne's.
Yeah. When you say Broadway and American ticket prices are the same now, do you mean like around the country? Or did you mean to say and West End? Because I would contest that.
Yeah, they're still nowhere close.
Yeah.
Some shows get towards it, like Paddington's, like they are shifting.
Yeah.
Their conversion rates are not the same.
Anyway, 1 hour on from the announcement of the Olivier nominations for 2026.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty happy with how that went. Some surprises, but
some
nothing seismic.
No, some non-appearances that were sad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, some appearances that we're really happy that I didn't expect to see. So
yeah,
swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. I think the design categories, we need separate ones for plays and musicals, like they have at the Tonys.
Yeah. That's one of my big wishes.
And directing too. Yeah, because directing musicals are always underrepresented in direction.
I hope Fun Home comes over to West End after the Manchester run, but I'm very excited to see it in Manchester because Mickey's never seen it.
We'll see. Could you see something like what Broadway have in One Schubert Alley would work in London? Aaron James would love that. Unfortunately, every time we've ever had an in-person merchandise shop in London, it has eventually closed.
I think now that the Broadway merch creators, so Creative Goods and Araka, are more and more working in London now as well and have their own teams here. So Araka run one Schubert Alley. So I think there's a growing chance it might happen, but in the right location needs to happen and the right agreements.
Yeah. The thing with that, and someone's just asked about schmackeries, is they would have to be able to appeal to a broader tourist market, because to be in the Midtown Manhattan theatre district, you are surrounded by theatre people and you don't get that same energy anywhere in the West End.
It could work. It just would need to be a very clear, this is the area where all of this, this is the West End, right by theatres, it would work. The Seven Dolls area, when Dress Circle was there, etc., that area does work as a theatre place.
You say the lighting as a play is so much different than a musical. Generally speaking, yes, but then you look at a play like Stranger Things, The First Shadow, you look at some of these more involved and complex...
Kenrick's was complex.
Organisms, and they start to... with Kenrick's, it kind of blurs the lines between play and musical, especially when you have musicals like... I'm thinking Here We Are as an example, that are slightly more static. I think, everything tells its own story with lighting. But particularly with directing, I think is the most overdue. And musical contribution is just such a strange one. And the fact that it's 3/4 plays.
Well, it becomes composition.
That's this year's real oddity.
Yeah, it becomes like a composition for plays category and then musical by look.
Because if you're a composer for a musical, you're not eligible in that category. But if you're a composer in a play, you are, and that makes no sense. Makes no sense.
That's when it should just become a category for playwriting, and then there's a separate orchestrate, or it's just called best orchestrations. It's that category, I think, has still not found its correct, like, branding, to be fair.
Was Paddington nominated? Oh, no, Into the Woods. No, hold
Paddington.
on. Paddington, yeah.
It was Paddington.
My mind has Into the Woods was the first sound design one.
Yeah, it was Paddington, and then
Paddington was the
Plays.
musical that got into musical contribution.
Yeah. Which is one I thought really was going to get into musical contribution, so...
Yeah, on a better day, Harold Fry might also have got recognition there, but I can't be mad at Stereophonic or Kenrix.
And the thing is, Passenger has got his Olivier nom. Tom Fletcher's got his Olivier nom. They've just got him a main category. Stephen Sondheim got an Olivier nomination today.
And good for Stephen Sondheim. There we go. I mean, it was a good Sondheim day between Here We Are and Into the Woods.
I called for ages that Tracy Bennett was going to get in. I was very
You've said this for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it happened. And Jane. It was Tracy and Jane.
Yeah, it was a different category thing with Jamie and Corbin. So it wasn't let's nominate Corbin rather than Jamie.
Yeah, no, and they were just like, separated.
Does Corbin make it in alongside all of the featured actor in a musical competition?
Yeah.
And does Jamie make it in alongside the leading? And to say that Mark Addy didn't even get in for Harold Fry, like leading, you had to be up against Paddington, the entity that is Paddington. You had to be up against both of the producers from the producers. And Artie didn't make it in from American Psycho.
No.
Who was the other? Why have I forgotten the other leading actor? Musical Diego and Jamie Parker.
Yeah.
So it was a lot to be up against, basically. And yeah, Jeremy Jordan hadn't been nominated for. You said no Paddington performers. Yes, Paddington.
Yeah.
Paddington. Like the Barrett's. Yes. James and Artie, but they both play the Barrett's. That was how I was describing it. Yes. Which shows do we expect to perform at the awards? Good question.
Paddington will.
Paddington will. Into the Woods will.
Maybe
Rachel,
Stereophonic might. No.
They could. Do you think Rachel and Diego, or just Rachel?
I think it'd just be Rachel.
They just do a "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina"
moment. Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Does she do it outside?
Harold Fry might, I think. Oh, yeah. I would love Level of Love, and it could happen that we get Georgina singing Independently Owned.
It could happen. It could happen. It's going to be very interesting to see. Yeah, let Rachel into the build, please. Yeah. I do not anticipate that Corbin Bleu will be performing. No, there's no.
When Corbin meet on Broadway,
I believe he'll be on Broadway, and there's no solo song from Gatsby of his that would particularly.
No, it would just be the intro song.
They usually only allow performances from nominated shows, not nominated.
It's normally best musical, and then maybe a play will get in, but it's normally best musicals, and then best new musicals, best revival and musical, and normally only the ones that are really like.
A lot of the nominees just don't perform. Even the year of Cabaret, like Amy Lennox did the Cabaret performance, and
yeah, they brought in the new cast.
Eddie and Jesse weren't getting changed. Not everyone is Beverly Knight getting changed 4 times during the evening to perform in multiple different things.
It's also what's worth it for them, because for some shows they're not coming back, they're not doing a new run. So then for them it's like, do we need to perform?
Paddington, I think, will. Harold Fry, I really hope it does.
I don't know if Here We Are will.
Here We Are is such a question mark, because what would they do?
No. Here We Are, I feel like the only thing I could see is Tracy Bennett's song, and that was Rogue.
They could. I said possibly, at the time, first time I saw that off Broadway, I said, like, there's no lift out. Into the Woods has many options.
Yeah. Into the Woods will, 100%.
I think they probably do Ever After or some version of
the intro.
I think a cut down version of the intro, perhaps. Or they could even do Your Fault. You know, that hits 3 out of 5 nominees.
Yeah.
There's nothing that kind of covers all of them because Ollie Savile's not in the intro. And
Kate isn't, yeah.
If they did like any moment into Your Fault, they get all 5.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. And then bonus Misa in there as well. Nick Mohammed is hosting this year. Here We Are would be a bit of a challenge.
American Psycho could perform.
I think American Psycho will perform.
I think they'll perform.
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Sad. I think Evita will. I don't know what it will be.
We kind of lacked last year from what I'm remembering. I remember your mum talking about this. We lacked for like the big emotional solo performance moment. And
They're normally a big vocal.
If you'd imagine Rachel will do Don't Cry For Me, Argentina, that's... Or they get like a lot of cast back and they do like some version of like Buenos Aires.
Or Davidian Rainbow High.
I just think it's so much easier to do Don't Cry For Me, Argentina.
Yeah.
The show's been over. Who knows where the cast are?
I think if Shook's performing,
some people dated and then broke up.
Yeah.
So, Paddington is a great question. I think Paddington. I mean, they've already kind of road tested some TV appearances.
They've done Exploring the Bear.
I think we get a little medley.
Yeah, they've done Exploring the Bear. They've done the first song. They could do Marmalade, but it only shows off Tom Eden and
Rhythm of London would be fun.
They did that as part of the Royal Albert thingy.
Yeah.
Rhythm of London would be fun, and I think Rhythm of London probably would be the most fun. Or the opening number, you do get to see all of them because they would be Stills for Fun, Train Guard.
Yeah. And historically, they don't necessarily...
They don't have to always show all of them.
You can't tick every box.
Or they can just have somebody like introing it by saying like a...
If I was like Victoria Hamilton Barrett and everyone else in the cast is performing and you're just there and you're just sat down in your amazing dress waiting to see if you've won an award, I'd be like, well done. Great. I'm on my third champagne. You did a wonderful job. You don't put me in. You don't need to put in one verse of my number, so I have to go and change my hair and then change it back.
And also being like, the stress also of the night where you're already nervous to then be like, right, you need to belt your highest notes from your show.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier than you normally do on a call time.
Yeah. I think the big question mark is just, is the end Phantom or Wicked?
I think it's both. I think both are going to get...
At the same time.
Not the same time, but I think both will... I think they'll separately have anniversary moments.
The Phantom of the Opera comes on in a boat with Elphaba, says, sing to me, and she goes, la, la,
it has to be both.
La, la, la.
It has to be both because Phantom, you're not going to allow Phantom to have its big 40th moment after Les Mis got a big one before.
Yeah.
And then Wicked.
Yeah, James Lamar at the Tonys. Yeah.
And then we are in the era of Wicked.
We are. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
And it remains to be seen. For now, that I think is all of the reaction that we have to react.
Yes, I would like lunch.
Yeah, let's get lunch. Thank you for joining us in this very exciting and stressful morning. Stay tuned for plenty of Olivier Awards coverage over the coming weeks between now and April.
Yeah.
When we will be going to the awards.
Woo!
Before then, though, get ready for the What's on Stage Awards happening this Sunday.
Who knows? It might move what's happening for the rest of the week. No, sorry. It might affect the course of the Oliviers. Because the winners of what wins at the WOS Awards might push nominators in certain directions.
Fine, sure.
We are in award season. There's a ricochet.
I was going to say just stay tuned to find out what I decide to wear, but also the winners. We will see you very soon. Thank you for joining us for the Olivier nominations. I hope that everyone has recovered from the shock, and I hope, as always, that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day. Goodbye.
Bye.
Happy Olivier's Day, everybody. Woo! I can't see the button to end. No, we're still here.
I thought it was at the top.
Yes, it is. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.